Oh boy, welcome back. Welcome back to the hardest decision I've ever made in this game. Uh, I don't know what to choose. We're picking up right after the last one for the most part, and I'm just questioning which one will make which one will make her take longer to friggin' I don't know shoot herself in the foot. But I did phone that friend once again, and what he said was, "Do you love her?" And then I said, "Not as much as Yuri." And then he said, "Then friend zone her." Well, I can always play this game again and try another path. So, um, oh God, I feel so bad doing this. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I... I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Ha. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? Don't say that. I should write a poem like this. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment, remember, for being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. Once again, you need a freaking psychiatrist. That's why I came here, just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone. I am not suited. I'll trust you with anything at all. So, Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. A. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. Most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm gonna give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. Oof. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. I am not suited. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica's placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. Kinda hard to forget that I am not suited. And I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her. I am not suited. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. And you're creepy. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. I'm blaming my friend for this. who told me to friend zone her. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Ooh, eh? Monica's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hold on, it's gonna go, I gotta check the files. Uh, so, DDLC. Characters. Okay, well, all the character files are still there, so that means, I think that means that no one's died yet. Hey, you want me to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets that laid on the desk. Nah, I'll save later. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Oh boy. Percent. Get out of my head, 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 get out. What the hell? Is this where stuff hits the fan? I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished, it just stops moving. Just Monica? What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. I'm not suited. What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written, but more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Oh god, is she gonna be on a noose? Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. There's no music either, which is terrifying. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Not my fault. All I did was friend zone her. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Oh god, she's gonna be dead. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori, she really is a heavy sleeper. Oh, I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Files, characters. She's still there. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. I'm back in the files. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Dot dot dot. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. Oh god, this isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppose I suppressed the urge to vomit. Oh god, Sayori's gone in the files, guys. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? Why? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession. That has to be what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Oh, listen to the music. It's distorted. This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of a relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club, screw the festival. I just lost my best friend, someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. No crap. I am not suited. Nothing I do can bring her back. I can restart the game. This is Shut up, I am not suited. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. Is that because she's deleted from the files, I can't reset it and get her back? Now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, never, never. Is this gonna go on? Okay, no, it stopped. Jump scare. End? Okay, I know for a fact that this is not the end because I saw a review on Steam that said, oh god. It... Oh, just Monica. I saw a review on Steam that said this game is not over until the credits roll, so... Is my save gone? Well, obviously. So, do I have to keep playing through it again and again? It's gonna take me 50 episodes to get to this game. Until just Monica. That girl is... Chloe Sibliel. Oh god. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there'd be any girls in it anyway. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. I am not suited. Wait, it's not garbled, and it's just question marks. Is it gonna be Monica? Monica? Oh god. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. You know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. Actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kinda dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that, but it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga's literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, I am not suited. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Because she killed your best friend. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet. I am not suited, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Nope. Nope. I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. Girl one. A guest. Seriously. Yeah, this is playing out like normal, except Shiori's dead. Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club. I am not suited. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Eventually it's gonna be full of only one. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into I am not suited in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that'd be great. Why don't you come sit down, I am not suited. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. There's no static just yet. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea really help you enjoy a good book? She's a lot less, nervous. Is that because I only cared about her last game? Or before? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Oh yeah, the new game thing, it's not a new game because my guy's name is still I am not suited. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, I am not suited. What kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. She's not timid at all. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Was it Bevan Bing's Bit? I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if the story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last week's club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yeah, Yuri is so much less timid. And is that just because Yuri's gone or because I only cared about her? Okay, well, now she's timid. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Nat and Yuri. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone's even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well I am not suited? Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, I am not suited. The thing is, you're a robot. We don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? So what's gonna happen when friggin' other things? What's gonna happen when these two die? Because I bet that's gonna happen. Then it's not even gonna be a club. I'd feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that I'm not suited? Yeah. Could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. I'm not suited, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this, you're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. We gotta... Just forget about Sayori. Forget about her. She never existed. Who never existed? Exactly. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. How's the poem gonna work? Is Sayori just not gonna be there? I am not suited. I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. There was never a 4th girl. What do you mean there was a 4th girl? Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. And we all know that it's gonna be Yuri because... Yuri. I'll just make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Oh boy, can I save here? Empty slot. Okay. A dream. I was wandering an abandoned warehouse at night. I was lost looking for an exit. I just wanted to go home. I came upon a huge empty room, its ceiling and walls beyond the deep blackness. My steps were quick in order to hurry onto the other side or to a wall, anything. Suddenly the ground was no longer beneath my feet. I stepped into a hole of indeterminate width. I fell for a good 5 seconds before crashing into warm water. Figuring out which way was up, I surfaced myself. The air was humid and the sounds of my splashing reverberated endlessly. My vision was completely swallowed by the dark. With one hand I could feel the damp metal wall of the container. My lungs are already getting tired. What? Yeah, Siori's just not there. Should we keep appealing to Yuri? Or should we, like, go for Natsuki this time? Because, there's only 2 girls that we can appeal to. There was never a third one. I don't know what you guys are all saying. There's only 2 of them. Should I keep... I honestly don't know if I should keep going for Yuri or if that will, like, change the course of everything else. Hold on. Actually, no, I'll just... you know what? I'm gonna go into BRB mode here and, flip a coin. Flip that coin. If it's heads, I'll do Natsuki. If it's tails, I'll stick with Yuri. Okay, it's tails. We're sticking with Yuri, so we gotta pick all the big words. Unrequited, after image, judgment, determination, disarray. That's how you do Yuri. You just pick all the big words. It's a lot easier when there's only 2 of them. Not like I would know. It would probably be a lot harder if there was a third one. Tragedy? Agonizing. I mean, if it's a happy word, it's this one. If it's a sad word, it's this one. Horror. L'universo. No, excuse me. Starscape, I never heard of that word before. Vivacious. Tenacious. Again, I am not suited. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. F off, game. Thanks for keeping your promise. I'm not suited. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. What? She's in front of the text. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps their manga collection in the club room. Meh meh meh. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plots back into her seat. Sorry, I'm not suited. Well, make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in the club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of the club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. Oh, now she's going after me. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. Look forward to hearing what you think. The screen was tilted there. Did you see that? Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet, looking for her hentai collection. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me. Oh, Senpai noticed me. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. There's a line right there. I don't know if that's my monitor or... There's lines. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. Well then. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. You are into knives. We do know that. You learned that last playthrough. Don't know why I started playing through it again. I mean, it's not like anything's gonna be different. That's kinda dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing? I am not suited. No, it's just that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil. But because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Save. Oh, new font. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets filled with something. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. Quickly retrieve the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body? What? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? Wait, is that in the history? No, it's not. I do? I don't really mean to. Okay, I'm gonna try and read fast if it goes that creepy font again. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yeah, we're back to this. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of her book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and you're we've read this before in the last playthrough. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready for a miracle? Turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. Glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. That's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kinda reminds me of you a little bit. That's a new face. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not, really. I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing's a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand over her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? I'm not suited. Something happened just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh no, not really. It's just making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, it might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up and make a mental note of where I left off in my book and slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my poem to first? Is Yuri gonna be dead when we walk out of the building? Okay, it's like, if I appealed to Natsuki, would Natsuki have left the room? Well, I guess we'll just start with Natsuki then. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. I'm not suited. If you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Yuri's still in the files, right? Yeah, Yuri's still in the files, so she's not dead. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Yeah, we read this one. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can see, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. It's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I wouldn't take that away from her. Oh boy. Who should I show my poem to next? Like it's a big issue? Hi, I am not suited. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, I am not suited. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, I'm not suited. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it's worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally giving up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for her alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? Sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. Suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. So I'm pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in Wall. I think we read this one too. I don't... But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking, or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crickle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. What does that have to do with a hole in the wall? So what do you think? It's very freeform, that's what you call it. Is that different from the first time? I think it was. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Save. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. Is she telling us to not think about if there was another person in this group? Oh, well, I guess I do have to show it to Yuri. But I think I'm going to end here and save that for next part because stuff has finally started really picking up. So, this game, I knew that stuff would hit the fan at some point, but I didn't expect it to hit the fan in this way. So, see y'all next time. Bye bye.